Nathan Khan here for Seconds Out with the one and only, smartly dressed as always, Peter Fury. Peter Fury always bringing up the standards. And I imagine, Peter, when it came to Matty Harris joining the gym, first thing comes through the door is about the standards that you want out from him. When a new fighter comes in, I imagine that's one of the first things that you want to see from them.
Yeah, definitely. It's all about discipline, isn't it? And listening and taking on board what your instructions are. That's a key factor. If you can't listen, you can't learn. So far, so good.
What are those first few weeks like when you get a new charge in and you're trying to implement your style and your ethos on that new fighter?
Styles are not implemented straight away. They take time, they take speaking to, they take practice, they take failure. Failure works when you're dealing with young fighters. They'll fail, they'll trip over. Just like a baby learning to walk, he falls over. He falls over. That's it. They fall over, they pick up, they get it better, and all of a sudden it starts to work. No different. Same as me and you learning to drive a car, no different.
Yeah, I might surprise you. I passed my test a year ago, a bit late, bit belated.
But now you'd be a confident driver.
It took me a little bit of time, but yes, I am now. Got me to Telford and back to Birmingham. But imagine just as much important as the in-ring work is also the conversations you have with Matty outside to just talk about yourself and connect with a fighter too.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversations going on. And look, in boxing, it's all about relaxing. You know, look, if you're not relaxed, you're uncomfortable, you're rushing your work, then you're going to fumble. It becomes a mess. You start loading up your shots and stuff. Nothing's coming off naturally. So it's all about being comfortable. And to get comfortable, you have to work hard at it. You know, it's all about, drills all the time, practicing different things. And that's it, working on... Everybody's got fundamentals in boxing. Everybody knows how to back. You can go in and boxercise and everybody knows how to do that. But there's a difference in professional boxing. And but the good thing with Matt, he's naturally talented anyway. He does a lot of good stuff. And there's a lot of stuff he needs to learn. But it's early days, so I'm not looking for devastating performances this early in his career. I'm not looking for him to knock somebody cold out and around. I'm hoping to get some rounds out, let him relax. The power's there anyway. He's naturally got that, so I'm interested in him working to his attributes and, learning his trade properly, being able to box, being calm, what's he like under pressure, pacing his rounds. All of these things come into it.
Well, you mentioned him being relaxed because you're famed for, amongst your boxing knowledge, is implementing that loose language type of style. Will we see little bits of that looseness coming from Matty in the ring on Friday? Yeah,
definitely. Nothing's loaded because, especially in the heavyweight game, if you're tight and you're looking for that power, be prepared to get knocked out in this division. You've got to roll with the shots. You've got to be a bouncing ball on the floor. So harder you bounce it, the more it moves. So that's it. It's the same in boxing for me. You can't stand there. You can be the biggest lump in the world. You can be the strongest person in the world and then be dog shit when you get it back because you're taking full force of them shots. So you have to be fluid, lucid, being able to punch shots and slip as well. So we're working all this type of stuff he's being spoke to about. So, but he's got a good brain. He's got a good knowledge of it. And don't forget, he's only had 7 amateur fights. And he's had a couple of, what's he had in all of his fights? 12, 15 rounds in all of them. So he's going to gain his experience, Matt, fighting regular and getting in there and not being under pressure. Nobody expects anything of him, so it's good. It's good where he is.
Peter, could you provide us an update on the movements as to Hughie Fury when he's next going to be out? Obviously, a frustrating period. Everyone knows about your frustrations and Hughie's frustrations, but any movements as to when he's going to be back in the ring?
Yeah, we will have some news on it, and we are making progress. So we will have an announcement very soon for Hughie.
Looking forward to that announcement and Hughie Fury's return. Looking forward to the debut of Savannah Marshall in a pair of MMA gloves, swapping them for the moment.
I wouldn't like to be on the end of Savannah Marshall punches with them small gloves on.
No, neither would I. When you're training with Savannah, do you have to balance her learning the differences between striking in MMA style and the boxing style? Do you ever have to switch? Is there any bit of turbulence when that happens?
No, the boxing striking is exactly the same in boxing, but the MMA and the positioning of the body is obviously totally different. So, she's doing her MMA with Andy Aspinall, He's doing great work with Savannah. She's picking up a lot of the groundwork, and the boxing and the punches. That's my job.
Moving on, just get your thoughts on the wider heavyweight sphere. First of all, next weekend, Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. I wanted to get from your side, pick your brain on that fight. We're seeing Francis Ngannou cause fighters problems in MMA world and boxing world. Big, long arms, big reach, which fighters have had problems with. I wonder, do you feel like AJ will have that same problems? And how would you overcome someone with such long arms who has maybe not the best jab in the world, but because they're so long, it's proficient and it works?
Let's see if Ngannou can take punishment. Can he take them shots? He takes the box everywhere else, but can he take the power? We don't know. Let's see. We'll find out. But let's say he can take the power, then Joshua's got 10 irons in the fire. He can just skip around him, outbox him, and just take his time. Ngannou, he's got to punch his chance. But that's it. So, but let's see. Let's see if he can take the shots. Basically, it's interesting to see, but I don't know. It's an interesting fight to see. I'll be watching it anyway. It's always exciting, isn't it? And full credit to Ngannou, by the way. I think what an excellent fellow he is.
Do you think if he performs well against AJ, people have got to brush off when they talk about him being just an MMA fighter and he's legitimised himself as a boxer?
I would say so, yeah. I think he already has with his last performance, so he's definitely no mug. He's a serious fella, and let's not forget, he's a UFC world champion, isn't he? So he's done great things in another sport, so he's a proper fighting man anyway. But this is boxing, it is different, so you need a lot more than just being tough, raw, and being able to be good on the floor. This is not about on the floor, this is a boxing match. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Zhilei Zhang versus Joe Parker. We've seen Joe Parker impressive against Deontay Wilder. Zhilei Zhang just as impressive as well in dispatching of Joyce twice. How do you see that fight going?
50-50. Parker's got faster hands. His combination punch is better. So, let's see. But, Zhang's on form. He's a big unit. Comes in, he's going to throw his punches. He's experienced as well. He hasn't got the age on his side. So what's he going to be like in mid-rounds when he starts? But listen, he's done well up to now. So he's had 2 impressive wins. But let's see. It's going to be a good fight, another good fight to see.
Just going back to AJ, I saw that he didn't rule out the possibility of fighting Deontay Wilder. Now, for a lot of people have said because Joe Parker beat Deontay Wilder, they're not as interested in that fight between Joshua and Wilder in the future. Do you still sound interested in that fight if Wilder can get some good wins in his pocket?
Listen, people can have off nights, they can have good nights. Styles make fights. He lost a fight. That's what matters, and he lost a shutout. But, I don't know what their plans was. Maybe he's not so good on the back foot, or he's been pushed back. He lost fair and square. So, is it the end of him? No, of course it's not. We could say the same then about Parker, where he got really beat up with Joe Joyce, and look what he's come back and done. So nobody should write off fighters. So no, definitely not. I think still a good fight. Wilder's got plenty left. It'd be good to see him back.
I likened the fear factor maybe be disappearing with Wilder to when Fergie left Manchester United and teams came to Manchester United and they didn't have that fear factor and they were able to push United, and United aren't the force that they used to be. With that fear factor gone from Wilder, given the potency still in that right hand, is half the battle won in the mentality for fighters who are coming to face Wilder now. They don't fear him as much as maybe they used to.
I think Wilder's always had a weight problem, to be honest. He's small for an heavyweight. You might have that power, but when you're kicking up on these levels, it's going to be a telling factor, and I do see that as a telling factor. So it is what it is. But Wilder, they've got their own methods, and it's all about styles make fights. So we have to see. But it's as Wilder got plenty left. Of course, he has a big, dangerous heavyweight. He's one of the best out there. So yeah, he can still. His defeat means nothing.
Lastly, from myself, we're waiting to see what Canelo's movements are, and a lot of people want to see him matched up with the likes of Jaime Munguia, maybe David Benavidez as well. Might not be getting Benavidez, but we might be getting Munguia. What's the fight that you want to see Canelo in next?
Well, listen, who's in his division? As he's nearly beat everybody else. Bivol, I'd say, and Beterbiev. They're the fights, aren't they? They're all similar kind of weights, aren't they? So these are the fights. These are the. I don't know. Are they the top 3? Who have I missed any names out?
Benavidez, Munguia maybe potentially, but you're looking at a light heavyweight there with Bivol and Beterbiev. You want to see him move up to that way and maybe try and avenge the loss against Bivol.
Yeah, he could do that way, but he's not naturally that size, is he? So maybe people down his weight. Listen, Canelo is a super champion, great fighter. Great fighter. I think they're all exciting fights he has. So yeah, see him in with any of them. Get it on, then, isn't it? Let the best fight the best.
Playing with that little Canelo-Beterbiev fight, how close and affair is that?
Be a good fight between them. Very good. And who knows? He's got serious power, hasn't he? So be a good fight. Canelo, though, he ticks all the boxes. He's got everything. What he's not seen is he's seen it all before. So I just think Canelo, he's got that toughness as well. He can dig deep. He seems to navigate his way through. Even when he's behind, he's so calm. We'll just say, I know I'm going to get hold of you in a minute. He's one of them. The experience level of him, he's an exceptional fighter, Canelo. Really good.
But if you saw last night on Twitter, Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney were kind of reacting to their press conference. Ryan Garcia appeared to be on the surface a bit intoxicated online, which is a very bad sign heading into such an important fight with that fight with Devin Garcia, where he stands for some to be not the favourite in that fight. Not the best of signs coming out of that camp for Ryan. When you see a fight of that talent, maybe not quite thrown away, but not on the right track, it's quite disappointing, I feel.
Listen, Ryan Garcia, what can you say? He's a super talent as well, but he's failing in certain areas, isn't he? He seems to be failing on the mental side more than anything, and I don't know. Listen, I'm only giving a fan's opinion, but he's got major talent, but I'm really impressed with Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney's going to win that fight. I really do. I think Devin Haney's got it all, to be honest.
Peter, sir, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you so much for speaking to Seconds Out, sir. Podcaster as well, too, I must mention as well. When's the first episode out?
It'll be brilliant. We got some real good guests coming on it. It's a good course for motor neuron disease, dementia. I've been affected with that in my family, and also some close friends of mine has developed it. So very good for me to do it. Hopefully raise a lot of money. Well, I won't be raising any. It'll be the people that's on, the people they want to see on there, that they'll be raising it. But there's some fabulous names coming on there. It's going to be really good. I look forward to having a chilled out conversation. It'll be nice.
You're the man giving the platform to those good charitable causes.
It's good causes, and we'll have some proper conversations. But stuff that means stuff, not self-promotion shite. We'll be asking real questions, and we'll get some real answers. So it'll be good. I respect all the fighters who's coming on, even managers, whoever they are. So there's going to be a list of good people coming on there.
I'll be personally tuning in. Can't wait for it, Peter.
Interesting people as well. That's the main thing. Interesting people that people want to hear from, and what they got to say, and questions they don't really get asked. So it'll be good. It'll be a good podcast for sure.
Forward to it. Like I said, I'll be tuning in for it. Thank you so much for speaking to Seconds Out. So all the best. Pleasure is all mine.
Always.
Thank you.